everybody about ready to take a seat and move on with the evening? Okay, yeah, move your chairs, whatever it takes. Most of the action from now on is from right here. Welcome all of you. My name is Sue Drown. I'm on the board of directors of Prescott Audubon, and I'm a recent past president. Is this working? Anyway, welcome. This is our awards portion of tonight's event. And I am here to introduce our host. Our host for tonight will be Dr. Carl Tomoff. Oh, but before I introduce you, Carl, I have to say, having this event at the restaurant tonight was sort of a break from tradition. We've always done a potluck before. We weren't sure we would get enough of our members to sign up, but in fact, we hit capacity for this room. So thank you all, and we hit capacity for this room even though probably a dozen of our regular holiday dinner attendees are on a Prescott Audubon field trip right now in Trinidad and Tobago. So here's to us. Okay, back to our host. Dr. Carl Tomoff has been part of Prescott Audubon from the very, very beginning. He's one of our founding fathers and our very first chapter president. Carl has a deep passion for the science of birds and the joy of birding around the Prescott area, and I am thrilled to have him as our host tonight. Please welcome Carl Tomoff.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue? It's weird sounding, not sounding. Oh, well, welcome. Executive Director of the Natural History Institute, Prescott, Arizona, Dr. Tom Fleischner. Thank you. He knows how to get things done. Yes. Well, let's roll right ahead. Just get started. I'm going to do some reading so I can be concise. Organizations are only as effective as the quality and commitment of people who contribute to make them succeed. Tonight we recognize and extend our appreciation to some of our members who have dedicated themselves to make Prescott Audubon a significant participant in the environmental community in Arizona and the greater Southwest. Before we present our awards, I'd like to acknowledge those folks here who have volunteered in any capacity during the past year. Would you please stand? If it's inconvenient, just sort of put your hand up and we can acknowledge you. So thank you. And yes. And there may be some redundancy, but that's all right. Would our officers and board members please indicate who you are? New ones and continuing ones and long-term ones, including our retiring president. I also want to thank Sue Drown, Doug Iverson, Eric Moore, Karen O'Neill, and Lauren Roden for help with the biographies of our award recipients. So give them a hand. Each year, Prescott Audubon recognizes members who have made significant contributions to our mission. We award them with a certificate of appreciation. Tonight, I'd like us to all welcome David Frechette. Here's a man really ready to go, recently retired. Tonight, we're going to specifically recognize Dave for a project that he's been involved with called the Poo Poo Project. Now, poo-poo is short for porta potty. And no, we don't take responsibility for naming this program. That was done by the Teton Raptor Project, whose goal is to install screens on the vent pipes of Volt toilets throughout all national parks and other public lands. Open vent pipes attract owls and other cavity nesting birds seeking shelter or a nest. Thousands of birds die every year because they cannot fly up out of the smooth-sided open-top pipes. Enter the poo-poo screen. Enter Dave. A quality metal cap that screws onto the open pipe top prevents these tragic accidents. Well, recently retired general contractor, complete with his ladders, drills, hard hat, and get-it-done spirit, he used his do-it-right attitude by not only installing the 10 screens the Prescott Audubon received from the Teton Raptor project, but also offering to install another 90 screens the Prescott Forest had purchased, but did not have the manpower to install. In the process, we forged a fine partnership with the National Forest. We helped the owls, and Dave had the opportunity to bird in a wide variety of campsites and also Montezuma's Well and Sedona wetlands. Winners all. Dave also has helped establish our nest box program for the wood ducks and kestrels in Watson Woods and Granite Dells. Dave, we are proud and honored to present you with the Prescott Audubon Certificate of Appreciation for the work that you have done, and we undoubtedly know will continue to do.
Well, I see my name is on this, and most of all, I see the top name, Prescott Audubon Society. Is anyone who's been around this organization for any amount of time knows that not one person gets any of these projects done. We've had lots and lots of projects throughout the years and lots of people that work on them. So behind every project that gets done is more than the person whose name is on this plaque. So thank you all for all who've helped with this project and who help with all the other projects that get done here. Thank you.
There's something about how you hold your arm if you're playing violin. That angle, you know, it's key. It expresses itself on the strings, which also sends flying music into the air and the sky. Oh. National Audubon honors folks with something called the Meritorious Service Award, which goes to individuals who have demonstrated outstanding leadership and participation over many years. I'd like to invite Sue Lord to come forward. Good evening, Sue. Sue Lord is K-4 math interventionist at Abaya Judd Elementary School. We know her as leader of the inspirational leader of the Prescott Junior Audubon Club, Nature Club. About 5 years ago, Sue took over after the after-school hiking and birding club at Abaya Judd when Bronwyn Butterfield retired. She transformed that club into the Prescott Junior Audubon Club, adding geology, botany, ecology, and other related topics, right? Yeah. The world. She expanded it to run both semesters, not just in spring. And then, wanting to introduce her kids to one of the state's jewels, she began the Friday Grand Canyon section. Sue reaches over 100 K-4 kids each year and has a waiting list of students hoping to enroll. She influences even more children during the summer through Yavapai College when she runs hiking, nature, art, and even drama camps. Sue has boundless energy and enthusiasm, and she draws her experience in leading camps in Colorado and Arizona as well. Using the resources at Abaya Judd, including the Community Nature Center, she encourages her students to be excited and curious about all things in nature. She invites participation from other organizations, including the Highland Center, Heritage Park Zoo, the Grand Canyon National Park and Prescott Audubon. Wow. Sue, for your leadership in engaging our next generation of naturalists to the wonder of nature, we thank you. We are pleased to present you with the National Audubon Society Meritorious Service Award.
Wow, that is
Let
so
me-
important.
I'll give you this while I give you something else.
Wow. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Wow. I haven't seen an award like this since my graduate studies, so this is wonderful, and I will hang it up with pride at school. So thank you so much. I just want you to know that we have so many incredible young people. Young people get bashed all the time, and they are just so wonderful. They were just like you and I when we were young, and that was a long time ago. And they are just so intuitive and want to learn about nature and everything else. So you just have to give them a chance, and they're amazing. And I thank you all, Prescott Audubon Society, for doing so much for us. I mean, it's been incredible. You have donated, the binoculars through Jay's Bird Barn. Thank you, Eric. As well as the wonderful new bird guides that we have, and then just all the guidance and the volunteers that have helped us. I can go through all the list of names, but I don't want to turn this into an Academy Award speech. So anyways, you guys have been incredible, and thank you so much. And Russ, but I have to give a shout out to Russ Chappell. Russ Chappell. I think so many of my kids sign up so they can get their name badges. And he does every single time, 2 times per quarter. That's 8 times per year, plus my Yavapai College classes. So that is 10 times per year. He does on his own time and his own expense all of the name badges for the kids. And it's just like a badge. It's an honor badge for them to take home. And thank you so much. And Laura Roden has been great, and Sue Drown. And I mean, I just don't want to forget everyone's names here, but you guys have been spectacular. So thank you. We have a good group of young naturalists who hopefully, as opposed to our present administration, are going to protect our earth, okay? So thank you.
Thank you, Sue. We have another award winner who is not able to be here tonight. Rebecca Davis is an artist, naturalist, wonderful person who's been engaged with Prescott and Audubon in very variety of ways for over 20 years. So she will be acknowledged at a future meeting. What I'd like to do now is to welcome Sonia Perillo, Executive Director of Audubon, Arizona, and Ty Suplee, Director of Bird Conservation at Arizona Audubon, who will present the next award or recognition.
Sonia, you can help me with this.
Okay. I'm mostly a photographer, right?
Well, that too. So this is an award for my friend and birding adventuress, Karen O'Neill. I first met Karen, over 20 years ago when I was on the board of the newly created Sonoran Audubon Society, and I believe you were president of Prescott at that time. Yeah, I met you at a chapters council meeting. Enjoyed her right away. She took on the task of actually being council president for a number of years. And the thing that I most appreciate is her 14 years of contribution as the important bird area coordinator for Prescott Audubon Society. Our important bird area program would not be as vibrant as it is without volunteers like Karen. And how many of you have helped her on important bird area surveys? a lot of people. So you know what's entailed in that. And Karen wrangles up all that information, gets it into our databases, coordinates, I think, pretty directly with my colleague at Tucson Audubon, Jenny McFarland. My fondest memory was the two of us going on a canoe and kayak adventure. It's like, I wonder what it's like on the Verde River from Verde River Ranch down to Paulden. Or Perkinsville Bridge. So my friend Don Farmer, who is a canoeist, was our guide. So the three of us figured out how to get 2 kayaks and a canoe onto the, I guess he had a canoe too, and I had a sit-on-top kayak. And 2 canoes, and we loaded up all our gear, 2 overnights on the river. And so we launched in the morning. We stayed overnight at Verde River Ranch, and then we launched in the morning so we could get our morning birds, and then we spent a night on the river, and we did point count stops and counted every quarter mile. And Don was our able guide, so we didn't get pulled off by strainers. I think the most memorable part of that trip was I think we navigated through at least 6 beaver dams.
Something like that, and I don't know how many. I know, Don called them rock gardens.
Yes.
Because the flow was big flow, so that meant the rock, you couldn't take it.
Yeah, at that point you had to get out and drag your boat to the where there was more water. Anyway, it was a memorable trip, and was a lot of fun. And thank you, Karen, for.
You're welcome. And don't forget, Don brought along some Jack Daniels.
That's right. That's right.
Helped a lot.
You could get up again in the morning.
Stories were slightly different too, right? Details are a little fuzzy.
Right, details are a little bit fuzzy. And then we trained a bunch of you to do surveys at Watson Woods and collected all that information for the revegetation effort there. And of course, coordinating, and I know Carl plays a big role in this with the winter counts at Watson and Willow Lakes, which are great. And so we have Watson and Willow Lake, important bird area. We have Upper Verde River, and historically, Prescott Audubon was a big participant in collecting the data that brought the Agua Fria National Monument riparian corridor in as an important bird area. So Audubon is great as a conservation organization because of all of you and folks that make that long-term commitment for our birds. So with that, Karen, would you come up, please? And we have an award to present to you. It's heavy as sin. And it says, presented with gratitude to Karen O'Neill for 11 years of service, so I exaggerated, at Prescott Audubon Society's Important Bird Areas Coordinator.
Oh, thank you. That's beautiful. Yes, I do. It is heavy, by the way.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. I'm gonna scoot.
yeah.
This is a painted red start.
Yeah, so this is a glass artist that Sonia knows. And so I picked this bird for you because I thought this was one you would see and enjoy in your backyard on occasion.
I do, and not only that, my name badge for Prescott Audubon Society, which of course Russ Chappell made, is a painted red star. It is absolutely one of my most, I try not to have an absolute favorite, but it is really close to being my most favorite bird.
It's Kismet, because I did not know that. You want to get a...
I want to say a couple things. First of all, Tyson and I had a great time on that trip. And it was hard work, too. I mean, we worked hard. Not the paddling so much as the counting.
Right. The rigor of a bird count.
Right. And Don really was a great outfitter. He brought all the food. He did all the cooking. He had all the appropriate carry-in, carry-out
Right.
toilet supplies. I mean, it was impressive. But not only that, I want to thank Audubon, Arizona, for initiating this award. And I know Tice had a lot to do with it. I knew that from the get-go when I found out it was Audubon, Arizona. And I just got to tell you, do I have time to go on a little bit, Carl? Okay. That I take a little pride in playing a small part in the birth of Audubon, Arizona, which had to do with being on the search committee that recommended to then John Flicker, who's now the president of Prescott College, but then the CEO of National Audubon Society, Sam Campana, who was the first executive director for Audubon, Arizona, and she and her development officer were the movers and shakers that got that beautiful center down on Central Avenue and the Salt River, to become a reality. So that's one thing. I also want to thank Prescott Audubon for letting me serve in, some various and assorted number of capacities over about 20 years. But it is the case, really, that my important bird area coordinator job, which frankly I created first place, and have been the only one so far, has really been the most satisfying of all the wonderful things I've had a chance to do and all the wonderful people I've had an opportunity to work with at Prescott Audubon. I mean, you saw all the hands go up of people who have helped with various and assorted IBA surveys. I am so, and like Dave Frechette said, this didn't happen. This award really is for everybody in the IBA program in many respects. It'll live at my house. You can come see it regularly. But if it wasn't for all these volunteers, I mean, nothing would happen in this chapter. We are all entire volunteer, and nothing would have happened with our IBA program. And because of all these wonderful volunteers, we have a great IBA program. And Dave Frechette, by the way, is going to take over the Upper Verde, which includes our regular bird surveys as well as the yellow-billed cuckoo surveys.
Yep.
So I think I've told Steve Prager that. He has Steve's email address. I'm sure they'll be. Steve is the Audubon, Arizona staff person who kind of manages the data and to whom all the data gets reported immediately, and then from there Steve reports it to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and wherever else it needs to go. And Ryan Krause, right there, has agreed to take over the lakes winter surveys for the ducks, which is one we don't do every year, as at actually the IBA programs, AZIBA recommendation, because we've got lots of data.
Right.
So it'll be 3 more years down the road, and which gives me a little time to kind of get Ryan oriented. And then I'm going to keep Watson Woods, which is actually part of the Watson Willow Lakes Ecosystem IBA, if you never knew the name of that. Watson Woods is part of that, so I'm going to keep that because many of you know I was on Prescott Creek's board for a long time, and that's the other organization in town that's near and dear to my heart. So
Excellent.
anyway, thank you all. I really and everybody, especially all of those of you who volunteered for so many times with the IBA program. I am truly grateful. I can't tell you how grateful I am. And please be good to Ryan and Dave.
Yes.
Thank you.
In 2014, the Founders Award was commissioned by our board of directors to recognize exceptional individuals who have demonstrated outstanding service and commitment that reflects the dedication, wisdom, and passion of our original founders, who volunteered their time, talent, and enthusiasm to officially establish our chapter on March 22, 1979. The Founders Award is a custom oak plaque featuring a hand-carved mahogany wood duck designed by local artist and longtime member Bill Neely. Thank you, Bill. And a certificate of authenticity signed by both the artist and our current president. This award is reserved for unique chapter members who have demonstrated exceptional service and dedication to the chapter. The board of directors actually authorized only 4 of these awards for presentation over the years. Sue Drown, would you please come forward? And those are the wing part.
Yeah.
Our immediate past president, almost immediately upon arriving in Prescott, became engaged. Karen told me a story that she got a phone call from somebody out of the blue one day saying, well, we just moved here Friday. Was there some birding group we can get involved with? She thought, I don't know this person. We've got sort of a tradition, maybe not. But wait a minute, somebody that takes that long to try to find out if something's going on, there's got to be somebody there. So she came from Utah having worked as treasurer for Bridgerland Audubon. She became our treasurer and applied her CPA skills on our behalf. She's organized and efficient and a talented people person, all traits that make her an effective leader. Once she decides something is worth doing, she gets going and gets it done. Sue served for 5 years as president and thoughtfully offered ideas and perspectives during board and committee meetings. She has been our de facto conservation chair by alerting us to local, state, and national environmental issues that are appropriate to our mission. She initiated our website Facebook page, and with Russ Chappelle, led the campaign to welcome a wider audience to our monthly presentations. She contributed to the Prescott Area Birding Guide and to the checklist of birds of Yavapai County, both of which are accessible on our website. Sue is passionate about birds and birding. She's a very skilled birder who shares her passion and knowledge with others, whether as a field trip leader or as helpful, interested participant. She's volunteered on surveys of Audubon's important bird area program, Game and Fish's yellow-billed cuckoo monitoring program, and Christmas bird counts. Thanks for helping this year. She remains a vital member of our board, and we hope she continues to be an active Audubon member for many years. So we're delighted to present you with the Founders Award, Prescott Audubon Society.
Thank you, Carl. And thank you, all of you at Prescott Audubon. I know something about the thinking that went into this award, and I recognize it as a particularly meaningful honor. I will cherish this, I really will. Thank you. I had a lot of fun being president. I didn't think I would, because my background is an accountant. I'm the guy behind that just writes down what everybody else does. But I learned quickly as president what an amazing group of people I had around me. They're bright, they're self-motivated, they know their jobs, they do it, they don't need management. And the longer I was president, the more I realized all I had to do was follow these people, and that I knew how to do. So my thanks to all of you. You made me look as good as I could possibly look over the last few years. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
The other, I'd like to ask Russ Chappelle to come up forward. Take your time. And I'll lean on Russ. No. He would be able to handle that. Remarkable man, this person. Russ recently stepped down from his years on the board of directors and from his pivotal role as a champion and choreographer of our monthly Window on Nature program. Russ expects the best for himself, from himself, and he knows no limits. He sees what he can offer, and he gets involved. From his neighborhood watch group back in Colorado, to the Prescott Astronomy Club, to Jay's Bird Barn, and fortunately to us at Audubon. I will highlight 3 of his major contributions. Russ began by computerizing our membership information and our historical records. He created our email database as well, improving our outreach to members of our community. Second, he transformed our meetings into the Window on Nature. He reminded us of the importance of reaching out to our invited speakers, to new members, and to the entire Prescott community, which now includes our newest service of providing videos of our programs in partnership with Channel 64. Not just a visionary, Russ also did all the tech setup and breakdown for every program every month while improving both the audio and video capabilities. Third, Russ is the wizard behind our always current website. He apprenticed himself to an expert webmaster until he could manage the site on his own. He spent endless hours learning about web details, displays, security, and all the complications that are associated with the web. Most of us cannot imagine all this work entails. He also continues to be the voice of Prescott Audubon, offering his personal phone number as our Prescott Audubon office number, sometimes fielding questions and sightings and occasional requests. Russ always says that he volunteers because he sees so many others doing the same, and because he enjoys the folks at Prescott Audubon. He insists he neither needs nor seeks recognition, and his actions support that entirely. His humility is inspirational. Russ, we are grateful that you found all your efforts so rewarding. We have been the beneficiary of your gifts. Through your energy and vision, Prescott Audubon continues to improve. We are sincerely and certainly in your debt. We're proud to present you with our highest honor, the Prescott Audubon Founders Award. Thank you.
As all of you know, I'm a man of few words. I'm going to try and live up to my hero that is a few words, Karen. I've always when I heard this was happening, I was not exactly thrilled about it because I truly do not feel like I'm in the, I think the word, I'm an amateur birder with a capital A on amateur, but I love every one of you people. You've treated me so well and accepted me so much. And some very special people. To receive this award means a whole lot. It really does. It shocked me. But to receive it from the founding president makes it even more important. And to see so many people here that have been responsible for me being here, like Eric Moore, who waylaid me, and Russell Dirksen, who asked me to get involved, and I accepted, and it's been worth every moment of that. And then would be remiss if I didn't say the artist, which makes us special. Mr. Neely, who has breakfast with me periodically, promised me when he did this that it would be a broken wing award. And it doesn't look that way, so he misled me. But to have a work of his as the artist he is really makes it special. Also really thankful for Robert, who stepped in and took over the videotaping, and they got us going on the Windows on Nature program. It's pretty amazing we've got all those on there. The entire board, starting with Sue on down to every one of them. One of my favorites, Kathy, who is our Walmart greeter. You've all worked so hard to bring this chapter to where it is today, and it's all been done with really a lot of generous spirit, and I'm just extremely honored that you let me play in your sandbox and let me continue to support you to some degree as I'm doing. So thank you very much. Oh, one more. And one more person, and she said I shouldn't do this. I want to thank my wife, Pat, who patiently tolerates me. She and our dog, Sophie, sit and watch TV sometimes while I sit in front of the computer doing things, and she never whines, whimpers, or complains. And she's the reason I'm able to stand here today before you. Without her, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. So I love you, Pat. Thank you.
I'll keep it back. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, Russ. Remarkable people, not only in this room, but in our community. There's that wing. Jeez. Talk about memories. Yes, remarkable people. There are others of you that are as humble and as driven and as generous as these folks we've honored tonight. Again, I felt privileged to have been able to be part of this organization for all these decades, to be part of this at the other end, brief moment in time celebrating our now point along a continuum of love for the world and love for each other. So I wish you personally, and on behalf of the officers and the board, wish everyone a wonderful, rewarding, and healthful new year, and look forward to the next time we can be together. Hope you have a pleasant evening and holidays to come. Thanks for coming.